I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he said something to me that really caught my attention. He said, minimum wage, minimum effort. And I was like, okay. At the time, I didn't say nothing to him about it because we're having this light conversation, just having fun and stuff, hanging out. And in my mind, this kept going in a loop, like minimum wage, minimum effort. And I was thinking about it. I'm a low class worker. I'm not like a manager, supervisor, anything like that. When I got home, I started to think deeply about it. I don't know why, but, and I just wanted to say it, to someone and see what they think. Like minimum wage, minimum effort. Taking this example of my friend, he works here in a local restaurant. It's not a chain restaurant or anything like that. It's a very local restaurant. And he said to me, minimum wage, minimum effort. But before he said to me that he wants to grow in his career, he wants to have a leading position, he wants to be a manager, supervisor, and maybe one day an executive or something like that. And I was thinking, how do you expect to be a leader if you don't show that you have the skills to be a leader? If you're like, oh, the company's not paying me to be a leader, so I'm not gonna be a leader. I'm not gonna show it to the company. Because imagine like this, he works with another, I think, 5 waiters, so our 6 waiters in the restaurant. Imagine the manager is gonna be promoted, and the person who's gonna promote the manager asks the manager, hey, do you think any of the waiters can fill your position? Know about the business, have the skills that are necessary to be a leader and be a manager? He goes like, no, none of them show to me any skill to be a leader. And imagine they all do the same. They work great, they do a great job, they don't get late, just great workers doing what is expected. They're not going to be recognized as a potential manager. They're not have the value of a potential manager or a potential leader because they are not showing it to the company. And I know that if the company goes outside of the company to look for a manager, they hire a manager, all the waiters, they're gonna be like, see, the company doesn't see my value here. I'm working hard every day doing everything they ask for, that my contract says that I have to do, and they don't recognize this. They don't see the value of this. And this is gonna create a situation that you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna grow. Look, put yourself in the owner's shoes. They're gonna look inside of the company and look for talents, looking for skills to be a leader, to fill more critical positions. And if you don't show it, how are they gonna know that you're able to do the job? They're capable. If you're gonna go work minimum wage, minimum effort, they're gonna be like, okay, you're good to this position, but for a more critical position, I don't know. You never showed to me any skill to fill the position. So if you're working out there, I know that there's companies around the world that don't see the value of their own employees, and this is so this destroys motivation. I know that, but if you're in a company that doesn't see the value you have, you do more than what is expected from you, and the company doesn't recognize the value of your work, you can look for another company. Go out, look for another company, try to change. Get out of your comfort zone. I understand, maybe you're gonna change what you have for something very similar, but if you're in a company that is gonna through time is gonna recognize your value, there's gonna see what you do differently, this is a very great investment, because at least you have a perspective that you're gonna be promoted in the future. You see the growth that can be that can happen in your life because you're working in a different company. But if you're working in a great company and you see like colleagues of you being promoted, don't be like minimum wage, minimum effort, you know? Do something more, do something different. Put yourself in the owner's shoes. You know, even if you're in a small company, you know, put yourself in the owner's shoes. I'm not being like, oh, we have to, because the owner is the fragile part of the situation. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the system works like that. It doesn't matter if you get at home and you cry to your wife, you go like, oh, the world is unfair or anything like that. This is not going to change the system. The system is how it is. And you have to dance like to match the music. You have to do what you have to do, you know? So don't go with minimum wage, minimum effort, you know? Don't go with like, oh, I'm not gonna show what I'm capable of doing because they're not paying me for this. But if you don't show anything, even if you show a little bit of skill, you will never be paid to do it. You can think like, oh, I'm not being paid to be a leader, I'm not being paid to show my skills, so I'm gonna hide it. If you keep this mindset, you'll never be paid to show your skills. You know, you'll never be a leader, or you'll never feel the position that you want because you're not showing what you're capable of. So like this friend of mine, he's kind of young, you know, he's 32, but you know, he's getting old. He has a family, and you know, like, I think I have to say this to him, but I don't want to go through this conversation again because we had a similar conversation before. But you know, if you're out there thinking minimum wage, minimum effort, you're gonna be like, your whole life you're gonna be earning minimum wage because that's what you show, you know. And of course, it's not 100% guaranteed that if you show your skills, you're gonna like earn more, you know. But you have to look for the right company to show your skills. And that's how the world works. It's kind of cruel, but that's how it is. So yeah, that's it.